The year is 2023 and you're wondering to yourself how to succeed in video. What camera should I choose and what should my videos be about? So me being me, I love to help people and knowledge is power. So I asked a whole bunch of viral YouTubers and viral Instagrammers if that's the thing, video advice. What would they do if they had to start over from scratch with all the knowledge that they know? What cameras would they choose and why? But first, a word from our sponsor, which is you guys. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you need to do to support my channel.
All right, so if I were going to buy my first camera right now, I would actually stay away from the most recent models, the most expensive ones, and look at something that's 5 years old, even 10 years old. Just recently, I was actually looking at a Canon C100 Mark II, which is a really old flagship cinema camera from Canon. Because it's an old camera, you'll be able to get it at a really good price, especially considering all the things it can do. Yes, it doesn't shoot 4K, but it does really good 1080p, which means file sizes are a lot smaller, which means I don't need to buy so many hard drives, so many external drives. So yeah, I'll probably go with something old because one, I'm a sucker for old technology, and two, I love the idea of producing high quality stuff on lesser equipment. So yeah. 2 cinematic slow motion moves you should try. Hold your camera steady and move forwards.
My name is Gabriel DeSanti. I am a creator, director, and creative director. Thank you so much to Kip for having me featured on this episode and to talk to you about what cameras I would recommend for somebody who's just starting out.
Can I come to work with you today?
Of course. Started in 1979. By now,
I would personally recommend starting with your iPhone, especially if you're creating content for the internet. I personally make content on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels, and so using something like my iPhone is exactly what those platforms want. They want vertical video, and honestly, I've racked in millions and millions of views just from using my iPhone, and that's about $1,000 camera, so to speak, and I spent way more on camera equipment in the past and have come nowhere close to racking in those types of views.
Hey, excuse me, how much do you make a year in New York?
who are you? Oh, 55, 60.
Can I come to work with you today?
It's really taught me that story is everything, and that's what you should be focusing on when you start. I will say, give this a little preface, you know what I mean, that I am creating for those platforms specifically, right? Like those platforms don't want this like super high quality, like people know, you know when you're watching on TikTok and something is real high quality, you just think it's an ad and you scroll right past it, except maybe in certain instances. There are some cool people out there. So that's my one caveat to this whole statement is know where you're posting and what is deserved for that platform, and then find the right equipment that suits it. For example, if I was gonna go shoot a commercial or do something for a brand, I'm probably not picking up my iPhone unless maybe it is for social content. So if you're just starting out and you're looking for something a little bit more professional than just your phone, I would personally recommend the Sony Fx30. That is the camera that I personally own. It's perfect. It is a crop sensor camera and it is like the baby brother to the Sony Fx3, but it comes in at half the price, which was the perfect price point for me.
Hey, how much do you make a year in New York?
About $80,000.
Can I come to work with you today?
I hope my insights and these tips helped, and I'm excited to see what everyone thinks down below.
What camera, lens, and microphone would I choose if I had to completely start over and had none of my current gear? Okay, let me think about that real quick. I would probably pick the Sony Fx3 with the XLR top handle, with either the Sennheiser MKH416 if I'm doing a lot more outdoor shooting, but because I do a lot of indoor shooting, probably actually I would get the Sennheiser MKH50 because it's great for dialogue recorded in interior settings. And then with the one lens, I'd probably go with the Sony 24mm f1.4 G Master. As for the why, I love my A7S III. It's phenomenal in low light. It provides some of the best looking footage I've ever shot. And the FX3 is just the A7S III, but even more video centric. So we're still talking phenomenal low light. We're still talking about S-Log3 10-bit 422 internal, as well as the ability to shoot 4K 120. So that gives me a lot of options, whether that's for client work or for YouTube. I love the 24mm focal length because it just gives you that versatility to shoot in smaller spaces, like this, but also still gives you not too wide of a perspective. And the beauty of that package is it's extremely compact, but also I can rig it up if I need to for more professional gigs.
I've always toyed around with Fujifilm cameras. I think Fujifilm is the best bang for your buck camera, and the image and dynamic range out of Fujifilm is just something I've always catered to. So I always have one with me, even though it's not my main camera, it's not even the cameras I use on shoots. I just like personally having one. So a good kit I would recommend is like something like this, which is a Fujifilm X-T5. Could be X-T3, 4, or 5, doesn't matter. They all shoot 4K 4K 60. It's all you really need when you're starting out. This also has the Sigma 18 to 50 2.8. It's around a $500 lens. And then I had the Sennheiser MKE 400 microphone on there. And I think this kit will run you right under $2,500 if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's just the overall best kit you can buy for that price range. I know Sony has offerings, and I know Canon, Fuji, everybody has offerings in that price range, but I personally enjoy Fujifilm, so that's what I would say I'd recommend. Thanks, Kip, for having me on.
If I'm going to start over, but with the knowledge that I've, gathered throughout the years, the camera that I will choose is this one, the Sony ZV-E1. The microphone is the Sony ECM-B10, and the lens will probably be a 24 to 70, preferably f2.8 G Master Mark II. Right now, I'm using the 20 to 70 f4 G lens from Sony, but Kip said only one lens. Then I think for everything that I do, the 24 to 70 f2.8 G Master II will be the perfect lens for me. I mainly use my cameras to shoot videos here at home and on our family travels. Now, when you're traveling with your wife and 2 kids with all the luggages, that difference, the weight difference of a Sony a7S III and the ZV-E1 is huge. If you're carrying your bag the whole day on tours, you will really feel the difference. In photography, I find myself wanting more, a bigger aperture than an f4. And when it comes to the mic, this Sony ECM-B10, it's just an amazing mic. No cables needed. It's so simple to use. You just plug it in the hot shoe and it just works. And the sound that comes out of it is just amazing for my needs. So yeah, since I don't do professional work, prod work, which I was planning to do back in 2021, then I realized, I'm not really for that type of work. Then it made more sense for me to get something like the ZV-E1, which has the same specs of the a7S III rather than getting the a7S III. So there you go.
So I hope those tips really helped you guys out there. Write them down, take note. Don't go out there buying the most amazing camera that you can buy. Tell a great story and be sure to buy things that only you need in your niche. It's your boy Kip Jackson. Start somewhere. Stop. Why did you?
I'm not gonna edit this. I'm just gonna give it to you raw.
I can't even, you know what? Yeah, we'll go with that take.